That's it? We're done?
That's it? You obliterated the thrilling ending Kevin formulated.
Well, yeah, that's what Hulks do. We smash things. Bruce smashes buildings, I smash fourth walls and bad endings. And sometimes Matt Murdock.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
And welcome back. This is the Comic Book Bullies. Welcome. This is Eli, aka Laurie Strode's nuts. Sorry, I'm not used to this.
Okay. That's the whole point. Catch you off guard. Yeah. And this is Leroy, aka Corey Cunningham.
Oh shit.
Starting already. We're already off to the races.
You're already pissing me off.
If you don't know what that means, then stop this podcast and maybe go back. Or if you don't give a shit, just keep watching. All right. Yeah. So like I said, we're just going to jump into it because we got a full show, bunch of stuff jumping on today. Eli, I'm going to let you start it off because, like I said, we got to pay our respects. I'm going to let you start off from the very beginning.
Yeah, let me get this out of the way. Hopefully I don't fucking lose it because this one hurts. So sad news, Jeff Barnaby, native filmmaker who directed Blood Quantum, one of my favorite recent horror movies, passed away from cancer. Shockingly, I had no idea. Very shocking. And yeah, it's been a bummer. He was like one of the leaders in this new wave of native representation in the media. We have all these new TV shows and movies featuring indigenous actors and actresses appearing in, these new media. And he was kind of leader in that. And he pushed the boundaries, as far as native representation. He expanded into genre movies. Yes, Blood Quantum was native horror. It's a native zombie movie. Was
that his first movie?
No, that was his second movie. His first movie was called Rhymes for Young Ghouls. Another great movie, very dark revenge thriller involving residential schools. But it was, so he was tackling these very dark subjects and, but making them sort of cathartic. And it was, like I said, it was like a revenge thriller. And it actually had a lot of dark humor in it. So yeah, his movies were very bold and he pushed the boundaries, very subversive. And he challenged the way people thought of natives and native representation. And stereotypes and all that. And he seemed really cool because this is during, and that's the thing about Blood Quantum. The pandemic happened, COVID hit, and no movies were released in the theater. So Blood Quantum went on streaming right away. It's the reason why I got Shudder, was to watch Blood Quantum.
Now, pandemic aside, was Blood Quantum planning to go to the theaters?
It was planned on going in because it was released in Canada. He was from Canada. So it was going to get a wide release here, hoping it would get like one of those like limited releases in the States and shit. And in fact, there was a screening going to be shown at a museum in Minneapolis where there was going to be a Q&A. I think he was going to even be there. And this is back when the Geek Savs, I used to do that podcast, the Native Nerds podcast, Geek Savs. We were planning on going, but then COVID hit, it got canceled. The movie went to streaming. So yeah, but I remember they had like on Twitter, they had like a group watch or whatever, the online group watch or whatever you call it. And you could live tweet, and he was actually answering and replying to a lot of my comments. So he seemed cool. So yeah, and he loved genre movies, he loved horror, he loved sci-fi. So yeah, I was really looking forward to what he was going to do next. So hearing that he passed the other day was quite shocking. I was like, wow, we lost a new strong indigenous voice, artistic voice. that was expanding, indigenous representation. So quite sad. I've been kind of bummed out. Fat T, shout out to Fat. He's the one who told me. He texted me. He said he actually shed a tear.
Wow. Okay.
Because how bummed out he was. Because I mean, we've covered. That was back when Geek Stabs was still going on. We had a whole episode dedicated to Blood Quantum. I've written reviews on Blood Quantum. I
listened to it. Yeah.
think pieces on Blood Quantum. I cannot say enough great things about Blood Quantum and how much I love that movie. So yeah, it sucks. And like I said, I was really looking forward to what he was going to do next, because he was talking about doing some kind of sci-fi cosmic horror featuring natives. I'm like, fuck yeah, that would have been awesome. But sadly, hopefully somebody else makes it or something, so maybe he's got a script somewhere and somebody else makes it, but a good journey, brother. We got his art to remember. So yeah, very kind of sad about this one.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, we got one more. Like I said, we got to talk about it briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how much you know about Angela Lansbury, but Angela Lansbury did pass.
I know who she is.
You know who she is. Okay. Now, as far as Angela Lansbury, maybe people don't know who she is, but if you do know who she is and you're about my age, that means that you were kept by your granny when you were growing up. So yes, I know who she is, because she was on that. She was on the #1 show. Murder, She Wrote lasted for 15 seasons.
It was on a lot. It was a while.
It was a long time. Yeah. So yeah, it just kept going forever. Like Murder, She Wrote. And the funny thing about it, for people who don't know the plot of Murder, She Wrote, basically she was a writer, or like a murder writer, and she just went from town to town solving mysteries and murders where everybody went. So the show lasted 15 years with her like that. Everywhere she went, somebody ended up dying where she went. So that should tell you who the killer was. It was probably her, but whatever. Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Well, what did I think she was in A Company of Wolves. It's a werewolf movie from the 80s. I think she was in that. That might be the only thing I know her from. I've seen Murder, She Wrote on TV, but I never really watched it. But I'm sure I've seen her in other things. But as far as Company of Wolves, the werewolf movie, that's the only thing I can think of right now off the top.
I mean, they said she had been acting her career was 75 years long. So she's been
acting. She's in her 90s? Yeah.
Yeah, like late 90s.
Yeah, she's up there. Yeah,
she was up there. So yeah, matter of fact, they were saying Murder, She Wrote was in the 80s, and she was old then. So yeah. So rest in peace to Angela Lansbury. Okay, so now we just jump into the podcast. We can get right.
Oh, and I just want to mention real quick, Ted White. He was one of the Jasons, and I think Part 4. He played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 4.
Was he Jason or was he Michael Myers?
No, he was Jason.
He was Jason. Okay, cool.
Yeah. He was Jason in Friday the 13th Part 4, I believe. He passed away too, but he was in his he was up there too. He was in his 80s too, but he was a stuntman.
Yeah.
He played.
We forget those movies came out 40 years ago.
Yeah, he was a stuntman. He played through the 50s and 60s. He played in a lot of westerns, and one of those guys in the background that the hero beats up. He was one of those guys, but he played Jason in Friday the 13th, and he was a regular at all the horror cons. So that's another big loss for the horror community. So that's good journey to him.
Yeah. Good transition, because speaking of horror, we both saw a horror movie this week, if you want to call it that.
A horrible movie, you mean?
Horrible with that too. For those who don't know, we saw Halloween Ends at Peacock. So this is supposed to be the end of the epic Halloween trilogy of the 2020s. Technically the other one came out in 2018, but you get my point. Yeah. So yeah, that's going on right now. So this was the final movie. For those who don't know, if you didn't watch it in theaters, it is on Peacock right now. It dropped not only the same day, I think it dropped a day before. So yeah, if you want to watch it, it's there.
I watched it Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thrilling conclusion. Now, like I said, since this is horror, this is your wheelhouse, Eli. I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna let you do the honors. Do what you do.
Just get it off my chest.
Jig off your chest. I have some notes. But it depends on what you say. Because if you cover what I have to say, then I'm just leave it
alone. Well, as for the people who've seen this movie, you pretty much well know that this is a very divisive movie. People hate this movie. There are people who do like it.
Hmm.
I don't know what kind of movie you saw, but I hated it. Yeah, I really was disappointed in this. I was really bored with this movie. It was nothing I wanted out of a Halloween movie. I did not give two shits what was going on through most of this movie. And I was pretty, I just straight up just hate this movie sucks, you know. And I've been ranting all weekend about it. Michael Myers is barely in this. When he does show up, he's like old and decrepit. All of a sudden, he's old and decrepit. Like, what the fuck? He's
Even
been
though
shot.
his last movie, he was unstoppable. He was John Wick, basically.
Yeah, shot and stabbed for decades. Nothing ever phased him. But all of a sudden, he's got a bum hip and needs help getting up and shit. I'm already blood pressure's already raising over this.
Rage, give in to the hate.
Like, there's that Laurie Strode, who was the only thing that I was interested to see. I'm just like wrecking the place here. Yeah, the only thing that interested me in this new series, this new trilogy, was badass Laurie Strode. You know, that she popped up in Halloween 2018. She's, you know, badass. She's got this awesome house full of booby traps. She's fucking packing and, you know, strapped on, you know, just ready for her final showdown with Michael Myers. I was like, that's what I was here for. We didn't get to see any of that in the last movie, and we didn't get to see any of it in this movie until like the last 5 minutes. By that time, I barely gave a shit. This movie was basically about another poor fuck boy Kyle, you know, who gets bullied and now he becomes a raging asshole. And, you know, we got to feel bad for these mass shooter assholes, Fox News bullshit, I couldn't stand it. Like, let's feel bad for the bullied white boy. It's like another Joker rehash, you know. And I was like, I don't care about this. I don't give a shit about this. I'm sick of this emo horror. I'm sick of these new wave of horror movies where they're just long, drawn out dramas with shitty garbage characters who act shitty to each other as a metaphor for depression or trauma or whatever sad shit. You know, I'm sick of this shit. They call it elevated horror. I call it emo horror because they're no fun to watch. They're just sad fucking dramas. I hate them all. Your Hereditaries, your Witches, your fucking Lighthouse and Midsummers. I don't give a shit. I'm make horror fun again. This was such a fucking bummer to watch. And I was like, where the fuck is Michael Myers? Where the fuck is Laurie? You know, and I could see what they were doing. They were trying to expand on trauma and fear and how it affects the community and individuals and blah, 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 all this shit, you know, and him staring into the sewer, the abyss, staring to the abyss, and the abyss stares back, all that bullshit. I knew what they were doing. I didn't give a fuck, you know, I just didn't give a shit. Just entertain me. You know, you can be woke and express these grand ideas, but goddamn, entertain me. Don't be pretentious bullshit, you know. And that's what I felt this was. They were trying to like be elevated and like, you know, and I didn't give a shit. I just wanted to see Laurie and Michael throw down finally. And they finally did in the last 5 minutes. By that time, I was like, is this over yet? Yeah, because I didn't give a shit about, Corey, whatever the fuck his name was, you know, poor little white boy. He had life was so rough, and now he's an asshole who turned evil, even though he didn't even go to jail for killing that kid. What the fuck?
But they explained it. He got off.
Yeah, I know Rittenhouse. Yeah, I know Rittenhouse. He got away with it. I'm like, fuck this shit. You know, I didn't care about Laurie's granddaughter who falls in love with them, and I'm like, there's just so much going on in this movie that I didn't give a shit about. You know, and it didn't give me the one thing that I wanted until the end, you know. And it's like, that's the thing I keep thinking about. Like, all I wanted to see was Laurie kick Michael Myers' ass. And that being said, Halloween 2018 gave me just that. We got to see Laurie be a badass. She overcomes her past fears and murks Michael Myers in her dope ass death trap house. It should have ended there. You know,
So basically, you're
he burns
saying
a lot.
this trilogy didn't need to exist.
No, the second
Okay.
movie, yeah, they go into the next movie about all these legacy characters that I don't give a shit about. The flashbacks with the sheriff that I didn't give a shit about. Laurie doesn't do shit but lay in bed. You know, we get more drama with people that I don't care about, you know. And then we go into this movie, drama with people I don't give a shit about. You know, the people that I wanted to see get sidelined. You know, Laurie and Michael Myers didn't do a goddamn thing, you know, in this fucking movie. You know, and the kills, I gotta admit, yeah, some of the kills are all right. Michael Myers didn't do them though.
Right. But he trained the other guy to do it, I guess, or some
yeah,
shit. You know?
yeah, his spirit or essence or whatever the fuck transferred over. I don't know. You know, and
micromanaging, you know, he was there.
I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of trying to explain why Michael Myers is evil or whatever. We don't need to know why Michael Myers is evil. It's scarier if we don't know. You know what I mean? Like in the first movie, they don't explain why Michael Myers is this incarnate evil force. They don't explain it. It's just scarier that way. But they've been trying for decades to explain why Michael Myers is psycho. And all the reasons suck. You know, Rob Zombie, his reasons. Oh, his mom was a stripper and his dad was a dick. So now he's evil. And these all the sequels and shit about the cult of the pumpkin cock. And they raised this evil spirit through Michael Myers. It's all stupid. We don't need to know. Bring back the Shape. That's what he was referred to in the first movie, the script, the Shape. There was no humanity. He was just an unstoppable force. You know, we don't need to know why he's psycho or why he's evil, you know, but they keep trying to explain it and they keep fucking it up, you know? So yeah, fuck this movie. That's my review.
Fuck this movie out of 5. Okay. Oh man. All right. I guess I'll say what I have to say. I didn't hate this movie. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Well, God
that's why,
bless
like you said, you said it was divisive. I guess it was divisive. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying it was a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying, honestly, I thought it was interesting the choices they took in the movie. Okay, you had Corey Cunningham. I'm like, okay, I didn't hate Corey Cunningham. I didn't. I get what they were trying to do with it. You know, at first I thought I thought he was going to be like the first victim of Michael when he came back. But when the scene opened up with what happened with the kid, I like, oh, okay.
That was shocking. I will admit,
yeah.
I was shocked. I was like, what the fuck?
Right. So the moment that happened, I knew where the plot of the movie was going to go. Oh, okay, he's evil. Whatever. I honestly, I already knew that he was going to be the new guy. So for people that don't know, that haven't seen this movie, don't know what's going on, Michael Myers is not the main killer in this movie, or barely even a killer in this movie. He's kind of like special guest or some shit, you know. It's really about Corey Cunningham. Corey Cunningham is the real killer of this movie. And Michael Myers kind of like halfway trains him or some shit, goes on a few, work schedules with them and then just lets him loose or whatever, I guess. It was a thing. He falls in love with Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter, Laurie Strode's granddaughter. They had a little love story that really didn't go anywhere. I thought it was going to go somewhere with that. Like, she was going to reveal, like, maybe the granddaughter was going to kill her at the end. None of that happened. So they kind of, like, went nowhere. So it had some interesting things going on, but didn't go anywhere with it. One thing I thought was funny, like you said, he got bullied. He got bullied by the marching band. I thought that was funny. That's just me.
The street crew marching band.
Right, they were like drumming and had like
the
like,
band
really?
camp posse. Yeah,
our new Michael Myers getting bullied by band geeks. Okay, that's I know it was all intentional, so that was funny.
The drumline crew, DLC.
And Eli, no matter what score I give it, I have to raise a point for doing this. Now, for people who don't know what this is,
right. Ain't that chicken like? She's one of the housewives.
She's one of the housewives, right? Yeah. So they reenacted that scene, that meme in the movie because she's from the Housewives, but she's from the original movie also.
Yeah, she was the little girl. She's Lindsay Wallace.
She's Lindsay Wallace. She was the little girl, right? She didn't do anything in this movie. She was just there. So
yeah,
it's like she's only there just do that meme. So yeah.
Yeah, she's only there. We got old characters back that you forgot about that even ever existed.
That barely remembered, right?
And now they're back because we're trying to do shit that no one cares about.
Yeah.
They should have just brought back Busta Rhymes. Shit, that would have been a better movie.
What did he say? Like trick or treat, motherfucker? I can't remember what he said in that movie.
Yeah. Now that movie, I hated that movie, but that's looking way better now.
It's just over the top. It was like really 2000s.
Even Rob Zombie's movies are looking better now. And I hated those too.
So that's my thing. So will I watch this movie again? No, I will never watch this movie again. Eli, I am not like you. This movie, this franchise after the 2018 didn't need to exist. We got our conclusion. We got our Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers fight, and it was satisfying. It was a satisfying conclusion.
Yeah,
epic conclusion for me. And I like, and then when I came out of the movie, I was like, man, that was an epic conclusion to the final fight. Then it had another movie. Then it had another movie. I'm like, why are you cranking out these movies? So that's why I give this movie at least a little bit of credit for trying to do something different. Because it would have gave us another just Michael Myers just stab for like another 90 minutes. I would have got bored. That's what happened last movie. I got bored.
Yeah, they took
at
a
least
big
they
swing.
tried to do something.
I'll give them. Yeah, I'll give them. Hey, you got props for taking that big swing, but you missed.
They missed. I agree with you 100% on that. They missed, but I give them credit. They tried. That's it.
Yeah,
A for effort.
And yes, I saw all the Easter eggs, the little references to old movies. They're watching The Thing in the first movie, like in the beginning, the kids watching John Carpenter's The Thing. Mm-hmm. In the original Halloween, which John Carpenter directed, they're watching the original Thing back in '78. So like I see all the references and the Dead Kennedy songs and the Cramp songs and the music, like John Carpenter's score was dope, and all the cool songs. Like, yeah, you're putting all these cool songs in this shitty ass movie. Yeah.
So it's almost like they tried to do a season of the witch, but they didn't want to do a season of the witch.
I think they were trying to do that. They were, let's do something totally different. And fucked it all up.
Right. Because if Michael Myers wasn't in this movie, nobody would have saw just Corey Cunningham.
Because this is, and I'm gonna say it, yeah. They ripped off Jason Goes to Hell. They ripped off Friday the 13th Part 5.
That's what I was about to say. Because, like I said, I'm not the horror aficionado you are, but I've seen this trope of evil transferring to somebody else and shit like that. Yeah, that shit. Yeah.
This is the first power. This is Shocker. Yeah. Or Fallen. What was that Denzel movie? Fallen, where the spirit is jumping through, the spirit of the killer is jumping and possessing people, and they're killing. That's what is this what that is going to be?
Or maybe the spirit was always within Corey the whole time,
or some shit, or
that's why Mike recognized a kindred spirit or some shit, whatever.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Fuck
so,
Corey.
like I said, it's a bad movie. I don't think we're disagreeing on the quality of this movie. It is a bad movie. I'm just saying, when I watched it, I was like, okay, I can watch it. It's watchable.
Yeah, I was rolling my eyes.
And then, like I said, you had a conclusion with and the fight between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, which I imagine is supposed to be the final fight, even though they keep saying it's the final fight. But I'm pretty sure it's the final fight.
They threw him in the grinder or whatever and ground up his body.
And you saw his skull crush and shit like that. Like, you really can't come back from that. But
is his essence gonna, is it gonna be a haunted junkyard now or some shit?
Oh, it was an imposter copycat the whole time, and he was really out there the whole time,
it was a scroll or some shit.
Some shit. If they want to come back, they'll come back.
They'll say something, but I was really disappointed, and the more I think about it, like, man, it just angered me. I was like, really angry.
You know what it is, Eli? Here's the thing, because you had high expectations for this movie.
No, I didn't. I thought this movie was gonna suck, and it turned out way worse. It's way worse.
Well, I thought the movie was gonna suck, and I was like, well, it did, but not quite as much as I thought it was.
Like, God damn, I'm impressed at how this sucks, how much this movie shitty is and shit. Like, damn.
I put like this. I like this better than Kills.
I was like, wow. Did you?
Yeah, I like it better than Kills. I hated Kills. I fucking hated Kills. Why am I watching this shit?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're both bad movies, so it's like you pick your poison.
I might just exhaust myself trying to think of
right.
Yeah,
like I said, which one you want?
Yeah, it should have ended with 2018, because that
it should have ended with 2018. There was a satisfying conclusion to this franchise, and they could have just rebooted with Cunning, whatever the fuck this motherfucker's name is, in a whole nother franchise. Just keep it going,
Yeah, Corky Romano or whatever the fuck his name.
Yeah, whatever his name is. Shit. All right, so let's move on past it. I'm gonna slap a score. I'm gonna slap a score on it. Not a fuck this movie out of 5. I'm gonna get a real score. I'm gonna give it it's a 2.5 out of 5 for me because it's right down the middle, slice in half. That's what
I'll give it a 0.5.
Damn.
Out of 5.
I wouldn't even give a snuff movie that low, man. Damn.
That's how, yeah. And the 0.5 is like the candy that I ate while watching.
Damn.
That's the only thing I enjoy. Like, damn, these Reese's Pieces are good.
Okay, I was like, you better not say candy corn. I'm like, my score is gonna get lower. You say that shit.
Oh, candy corn, yeah, that shit gets stuck in my teeth. I can't do that shit.
All right, so I'm gonna just move on to the next one.
All right.
Now we're gonna talk Marvel, not another horror movie. But you're gonna talk the She-Hulk finale. It happened this week. This is it.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. So I want to just give my thoughts about it. Here's my thing. I'm going to defend this finale because I think a lot of now, whether you like the show or like the finale or not, I want to defend it because I think a lot of people are missing the point of what the finale was supposed to be. Imagine. I just heard myself.
I'm sharing the.
Okay.
I'm sharing the. Is this? Yeah, I'm sharing the link. Sorry.
Okay, go for it. Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is with this that I think people are missing the point that when She-Hulk jumped out of her show and then jumped into Marvel Studios to talk to Kevin Feige or Kevin Robot or whatever what the fuck was going on, is that she was not throwing her show under the bus. She was not saying my writers suck, my show suck, fix this shit. That's not what she was doing. What she was doing was throwing the MCU under the bus. Because the thing was what she said when she went to the writing room, they was like, we didn't write this shit. Kevin wrote this shit. And what Kevin was doing, since he's a robot, since he's a formula, since all this shit like that, he was actually just writing the same ending he was writing for every fucking movie and show he's ever written. So it was throwing every Marvel third act and every Marvel ending under the bus. Because She-Hulk final finale was 4 things. It was 4 things if you really think about it. The beginning of it was Incredible Hulk intro. Okay, cool. After that, it was a regular MCU third act. Everybody CGI fighting over MacGuffin. Dude got the same powers as her. You got to fight there, blah, 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 bullshit, whatever. Third act was Matrix Reloaded. That's what it was. I don't know if people made the connection about it, but it was basically the ending of Matrix Reloaded. Yeah. Kevin Feige was the architect, if anybody didn't catch that connection. Yeah. And the ending was Fast and Furious, the cookout scene. That's all it was. Hulk even had a Vin Diesel, Don Toretto, like tank top on. So that's my thing with people. So let me get back to what I was saying. So the reason she was throwing the MCU under the bus and the reason she got Kevin to change the ending, because what they were doing with the little stretch where Hulk shows up, Abomination shows up, Titanic shows up, bro Hulk shows up. It was just a CGI shit fest that we normally see at every single MCU movie. And the reason it is because that's the formula that the MCU uses. So what this was trying to do was buck the formula. It was like, we don't need to do that. What is the unwritten rule?
Why is that happening? How did Bruce come from space? And this doesn't make sense,
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
she calls it out. Yeah.
Right. She calls it out, and the reason it's happening is because that's what always happens. Like, we don't need that. The story is the story. We don't have to throw out. We don't have to be the MCU cameo hour. Like, I don't need Bruce here to fight my battles. I can do it because it's my show. I know, like, Marvel normally has just fight scene after fight scene and cameo after cameo. But remember, she kept saying, this is my show. She's trying to take back control of her show. Saying that's what she did. So I don't know why people saying it was just random for random sake. It wasn't random for random sake. It was a point.
And yes, the whole time.
She's been doing it. She did it, but not to this level. Like, she'll wink at the camera, stuff like that, say to the camera, but just hop out of the show and go to this. Yes, this is going over the board. But I'm trying to say that, in my opinion, I don't think it was jumping the shark. A lot of people think it was jumping the shark. I don't think that. I think it was on brand. And like I said, and she was trying to make a commentary to the Marvel fan base. Like, just like the comment section, we've been hearing about the comment section that she's been fighting the whole time. Like the MCU and why do we need Girl Hulk and where's the He Hulk? These assholes that don't even get the point that the whole show is making fun of them. She turned into the comment section. What she did is bring up the same comments that actually Marvel fans bring up and legitimate criticisms that they bring up. Why is Marvel so sexless? Bring me back Daredevil. She don't want Matt Murdock. She wants Meat Murdock. She wants that guy. Why does, where the X-Men, actual comments that she wants. Why does every MCU movie end the same way? These are things that everybody says, even Marvel fans. So I don't see why what's wrong with this show taking the time out to address that, to let them, because the boys make fun of Marvel all the time. The comment section make fun of all the time. Hell, we make fun of Marvel all the time. So why can't Marvel make fun of Marvel? I don't see anything wrong with that. And I know a bunch of nerds really uptight in their ass. Well, if She-Hulk just jump out the show, why don't she do that when they fight Kane? You motherfuckers. I'm gonna explain that. The reason she can't do that, because first off,
the answer is who gives a shit.
That is the answer. Who gives a shit? But I'm gonna explain it. I'm explaining it just so these fanboys can get it off their chest. Reason she ain't do it again, because she didn't change the MCU ending of her show. Kevin did, and Kevin told her to fuck off after he did it, so she can't do it again. Boom. That's your thing. So we can explain that. So that's all I had to say about it. I know people are bitching about it. It could have been written a little bit better, because I do think at the end they should have showed that Kevin still had power over her. Like, first she said Hulk don't need to be in my show, but I'm gonna introduce him. And when Hulk shows up, she could have looked at the camera and be like, Kevin, what the fuck? You hijacking my show again, but she didn't do that. So, like I said, overall, what do I think about this show? It wasn't the best Marvel show. Wasn't the worst Marvel show. It was mid. And sometimes mid is okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Again, I thought it was funny. It made me laugh.
It had moments. It had moments.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about overall. Like, you take some individual episodes, it's cool. But when you look from 1 through 9 episodes, kind of mid. But that's okay.
I mean, some episodes were better than others, but for the most part, I enjoyed the show. And I enjoyed the finale. It made me laugh. I got all the Easter eggs. I got what they were trying to do of poking fun at itself, poking fun at Marvel movies, and poking fun at the fans and all that. I that's what I liked about it. I thought it was funny. It was like trolling, almost like trolling itself, or trolling the fans. So I thought it was fun. And Scar looking all like meek and shit.
Right. It was just like, what? Okay.
He's just like, oh, here's my son. He's just like,
I don't want to be here, Dad. No, that's what it looked like. Like, what the fuck?
He doesn't say it, just like this blank expression on his face and shit. But like I'm saying, like I keep saying that this show, and I think Harley Quinn sort of is deconstructing the tough guy male hero stereotype, that motif of tough guy, tough male, and them getting angry and making them go on rampages and trying to become Michael Myers.
Right. or Corey Cunningham. Yeah.
Or your Corey Cunninghams, throwing hissy fits and mantrums and punching walls and my life sucks and everyone's gonna pay. I think they're deconstructing those ideas, and I think it's funny, So so to introduce Scar, the Hulk's barbarian son, he's basically a green Conan.
Right. Well, that's how he was invented. Right.
Yeah, to have him show up, hair all slicked back, looking like a Hare Krishna, and just like it was like, that's Scar.
Like with a man bun? Okay.
Yeah, and I could just see you just know that all the fucking fanboys, what the fuck, they ruined Scar.
Well, first off, they never heard of him. They just Googled him and saw how he looks in the comic. Oh, he look like Conan? They look like that? Oh, then they get angry. Yeah. But let me find something to get angry over,
Yeah.
Like I said, because we know these YouTubers, these angry, they got to stay on brand.
But it was such an afterthought, because she kept saying that we're not here for the cameos. Oh, hey, here's my son.
Right.
Just like an afterthought,
And that's why I say that I almost think, Eli, that this ending was too clever for Marvel fans. Because what they were trying to do was trying to, like I said, buck the trend of the normal Marvel ending. And and she even looks at the camera when all this crazy shit was going on. Is this what you want? Is this what you asked for? But then when you look at the comment section, it sounds like that is what fans want.
Yeah.
They want
bang.
Yeah. Smashy smash, CGI shit fest all over the place. Shit, yes. They want Abomination to show up. They wanted Red Hulk to show up. They wanted Scar to show up. Titanium gets some look in, Daredevil show up,
And he did show up,
right?
And kick a bunch of ass, and then got laid, and they still bitched about that.
Right? They'll find something to bitch about. So that they wanted this big CGI slugfest to be an hour long, stuff like that. Even though the show was purposely going against that, and then it was like, well, if I would have wrote it, Scar would have showed up and would have fought Abomination. Like, you completely missed the point of what they were trying to do.
Yeah,
but that's fanboys for you.
showed up and whipped out his dick and slapped the shit out of everybody. And my dick would have been hard, like, yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, Like with these properties, I don't think you're allowed to subvert expectations. Because if you do, this is what happens.
Yeah.
We've seen it too many times. That's why I say you're trying to be clever. You're trying to, go against the grain. But at the end of the day, the fans, the real fans that really want this, they kind of just want the same shit over and over again.
Pretty much. The Last Jedi, don't do your Last Jedi shit.
Right. Because the thing is, like, all these fans, we've seen the message board, we've seen the comments. They have a checklist of the shit they want. They've seen it. We want, like I said, if Wolverine would have showed up at the end of this just for no fucking reason whatsoever, people would have said it's the greatest shit ever. Like, for no reason, just would have showed up.
Depends how Wolverine showed up,
Okay, yeah, not a man bun and drinking, boba or some shit like that. We talking about like just drop out the sky, yellow and brown underwear, say his catchphrase gonna
if he would have showed up on a motorcycle with Cyclops on the back,
right?
Been, what the fuck?
They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know what the fuck. They would have said it was the greatest shit ever, even though it would have made no sense whatsoever. He just would have showed up. People would have said the greatest thing ever. So just because it's meeting expectations or exceeding expectations, not subverting expectations.
That's what's up with the Deadpool trailer. The Deadpool trailer went viral. Like, holy shit! Oh my god, the new Deadpool's gonna have Wolverine. Right.
And that's all they want. But see, even that got out of control. And now people want everybody else. So if you bring it on Wolverine, are we gonna get Cyclops? Are we gonna get Professor X? Are we gonna get Omega Red? Now they're just thinking it's just gonna be just under the X-Men movie. So now if it's just Wolverine by itself in a Deadpool movie, they're gonna be disappointed. If we don't get Mephisto or some shit,
Yeah.
That's
first world problems, man.
Yeah, that's the first world problem. But that's the thing. Like I said, it's She-Hulk did something different. People got pissed off. Now, keep in mind, I'm just talking about the people that actually liked the show overall and had a problem with the last episode. I'm not talking about the dickheads that didn't like any of it and just bitch about everything. I'm not worried about you guys.
Yeah.
Or if anybody just didn't like it. If you just didn't like it, you just didn't like it. And that's one thing I want to make very clear. Everybody that didn't like this show is not automatically an incel. We need to just move away from that. I don't know where that came from. So
that's an internet thing. Like I said, it's tribalism. Tribalism, you like what we like what we like, you like what you like, I hate what you like, you hate what I like, fuck off, fuck you. That's pretty much how it is. That's how the internet works and how pretty much the country is right now.
Yeah. Because there were people that had actually legitimate criticism against liking this show. And that I can respect, But if you're just a dickhead because, I want a He-Hulk instead of a She-Hulk, fuck you. Fuck off. So, all right. What do we got next? Did that. Here's the video game section. Let's talk about this briefly. Yeah, let's talk about this briefly. Yeah, we got a shitload of comics, so it don't matter anyway. Let's talk about this. We did talk about this briefly a couple episodes ago. G4 TV is dead again.
I first saw I said Grand Theft Auto. I thought that was great.
Oh, Grand Theft Auto dead. You wish.
Grand Theft Auto's dead.
Yes, okay.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is dead. I was like, what?
that game will outlive us. Yeah. So G4 is dead again. Like they announced it on Twitter today. We're done. That's it. The people that worked there didn't even know. So they found out they were fired. Yeah. Like effective immediately, we're done. We knew it was coming. Like I said, G4 TV felt like some shit in 2000. It felt like they were trying to bring 2005 back to 2022, which don't work. That shit was left back there for a reason, without Olivia Munn. So that makes it even worse. Like, we're like, really, why are you existing?
Well, that one chick was hot. I can't remember her name though. Damn it.
What, on the new show?
Yeah.
Not on the new show.
I forget the name of her. What her name was. I don't know. But yeah. No, we talked about this a couple weeks ago when it was first like But yeah, like everyone's we're doing what they're doing now.
Right. And we're low level. We're not talking about like the big guys that just really put them out. That's who put them out to begin with. IGN, Game Trailers, GameSpot. Like they were doing the same thing with better equipment, faster, and more daily than they were. They crank out like some shit that was relevant like a week later. By then, nobody cares. So you can't move on TV time on YouTube. That shit got to go. That shit got to move fast.
I mean, you didn't need to have a channel. They could have just stayed on YouTube. And in fact, if it was just a YouTube channel, that's all they needed. They didn't have to go on.
That's what they did.
TV.
That's what they did now.
Yeah,
And
no,
it should still
they
die.
had a channel. There was a channel designated for them on cable.
What you talking about? Like now?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what channel?
It was a G4 network. It was a channel.
No, I'm talking about like now in 2022. There was a
Yeah.
G4.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's yeah, you got to generate revenue, man.
Well, see, that's why I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I'm a gamer. So you tell me G4 TV is back, and I didn't even know G4 TV
And
had
that's
a
probably
TV channel.
That's probably why, because I remember they would throw up their streams on YouTube, and it'd be like hours long, and because they're just basically streaming what was on, the channel, the live TV channel,
Right.
and that'd be like 3, 4, 5 hours long of, I'm like, I ain't fucking
Right. Now
you know
watch
what I mean?
this. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but hell, I didn't know about that. That's the thing, because what they gotta understand is that people that play video games all day don't watch TV. So putting your shit on TV, you're just wasting our time. TV is for Murder She Wrote, shit like that. We ain't got time for all this shit. So
Yeah.
What I got next? I guess we move past that. The shit I want to talk about. Well, I really don't want to talk about this, but I guess we'll talk about it. So, Eli, we are boycotting a game. Yeah.
Okay.
We're supposed to be boycotting a game. So there was we got news from, I think her name is Helena Taylor.
I was wondering who this was.
Okay, Helena Taylor. So yeah, so some chick. So she is the voice of Bayonetta on the Bayonetta games. And the thing is, on Bayonetta 3, they were only going to pay her $4,000 to voice the whole game. So she like, fuck that. Not only she's saying fuck that, she's saying boycott Bayonetta 3. She's just saying a worldwide boycott. So even the team that made the boycott, or the Twitter team on Twitter, they cut off the comments because they're getting harassed right now. So like, get the fuck away from me. So yeah, this is crazy. I can't even play Bayonetta 3 because Bayonetta 3 is like only on Nintendo Switch. I don't have that shit. So I played the first one, but I played on PS3, so it sucked on PS3. But it was okay on Xbox 360, but that's a whole other thing. I may talk about Bayonetta later on, but actually, here's the thing. Bayonetta is a good game, so if you have a Nintendo Switch, play 1 or 2. Don't play 3. Do a boycott. So
yeah, I never beat the first one, but it was pretty fun. It was like another Devil May Cry, kind of like that.
Well, it was made by the guy that made Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was made by the same guy. So did you play it on PS3 or Xbox 360?
I think it was PlayStation, or it might have been Xbox. I don't know. It was. It might have been.
It was a difference.
It might have been 360. It might have been my
Okay.
360. Yeah.
It was different. I think let me just talk about this before we move on to the next part, because thing is, Bayonetta was completely different games on the PlayStation 3 versus the 360. For some reason, it couldn't run on the PlayStation 3 like it should have. It ran at like 20 frames per second. It was lagging. It was glitchy. She didn't have even the same moves. There were levels missing. So I was like, I had a PlayStation 3. I played the game. I'm like, man, this game sucks. My friend had a 360. I went over to his house, played the game. That shit moved 60 frames per second. No lag time, had extra levels. I was like, full 1080p. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's the same game that I had. Completely different game. I was like, this shit looks great. So if you get your hands on Bayonetta 1, get it on 360. And I actually bought it on Steam. I might actually stream it. I don't know. I might stream it.
There you go.
I'll see.
Yeah, my kid was into that game. At least the first one. I think he beat it. But yeah, I played some of it. It's fun.
Yeah. And she looked oddly a lot like Sarah Palin on the game. That's just me. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's just me.
Thought of that name.
Not saying I had a thing for Sarah Palin, but
just the porn.
Right.
just Lisa Ann.
Right. Sarah Palin stimulus package. What? Okay. All right. So move on to the next part of the podcast. Like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about comic books. And Eli, I'm gonna let you go first on this one. If you want to do Superman, you can do Superman, because I got.
I didn't grab a Superman.
Oh, well, that's cool. So by default, I'll do Superman. Okay.
We usually do Superman.
I'll do it. It's cool.
Yeah.
I read it.
Is it present? That's the new. Okay. Share screen. I will do Star Wars Visions #1.
Okay. Now, is this like some kind of manga? Because I know the Star Wars on Disney Plus kind of like an anime.
Yeah.
So this is manga. This
is just a one shot. I don't know if they're going to do other stories, but this is a one shot prequel to the dual episode on the Disney Plus show, the anime Visions show on
Eli
Star
the
Wars.
Otaku.
Yeah. This might be my book of the week because this was pretty fucking dope. That episode is probably the best episode too. You know, it's total black and white, lone wolf and cub style, anime about this like Ronin Jedi wandering like this wasteland in the Star Wars universe that looks like feudal Japan. All the stormtroopers and the ninjas look like, Star Wars versions of, samurai and ninjas and stuff like that. He has like a R2 unit, that he's travels with. It looks like a baby cart, just like Lone Wolf and Cub. The R2 unit is loaded with weapons, like the baby cart in Lone Wolf and Cub. It really just sort of points out those samurai influences, those samurai film influences that, George Lucas picked up on and sort of integrated into the Star Wars universe. So
right, like the first Star Wars was based on Hidden Fortress.
Hidden Fortress and just like samurai duel, like Akira Kurosawa, samurai duels, what's his name? Toshiro Mifune, his samurai duels, the lone samurai, the Ronin. And that's his character. That's the character name in this. And this is just a prequel to that episode. This comic is just him, traveling this, feudal Japan-esque planet, getting into duels with these different droid ninjas and samurai looking stormtroopers. And then he meets this blind old man and they kind of travel together. It turns out one of them is a Jedi and they have a duel, and it's just really cool looking. The visuals are cool. As you can see, it's got that total manga style action, and just a lot of fun. And this is what I want to see from Star Wars, the Star Wars universe. Just branch out, branch out and let us see new shit, So yeah, this is dope. I love this. I guess there's a novel. They're writing a novel about this guy. There's going to be a novelization about this character that I might just pick up because I dig this. The story and this character and just the look of it. So yeah.
Do you recognize the writers and artists on this book?
No, because I'm not a big manga fan or an anime.
So it is like manga people. It's not like
it is. Yeah, that's
okay.
That's what the Vision show was. Star Wars Visions was a show, just non-canon, just animation studios, Japanese animation studios playing in the Star Wars universe, doing their versions of Star Wars stories, in anime style. There's like 8 episodes, and there's a lot of good ones. There's some really good ones there. But yeah, the opening, the duel is that's the dopest. That's really cool because it is just a samurai Jedi, battling droid ninjas and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and this is a prequel to it. And this is a 5 out of 5. I love this. I really love this. This is the first thing I read. And I'm like, shit, I don't know if I'm gonna read anything better this week. And I don't think I did. There's some cool shit I read, but yeah, I really dug on this. So this is a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, even the term Jedi, I think, is Japanese, has
Jedi,
Japanese meaning.
Geku or something. It was like it refers to like the performance or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
something like that, like samurai performance when you something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So good shit. All right. So next book first book I'm going to do is Batman versus Robin #2. Did you read this?
I did not read this, no.
Cool. Okay.
I'm not reading this. Yeah.
This is it gets deeper and deeper as we go along. So yeah, and they're trying to this is supposed to be something that changes the DC universe when it's all said and done. So we'll see. I'll let you know what's going on. Basically, a bunch of magic shit happening right now. So yeah, let's see. Boom, get in there. There it is. So like I said, Batman versus Robin, and where we left off, Batman has gotten the key to the House of Mystery from Zatanna, and as we're gonna go to try find out more. Basically, find out what happened to Damien. Why is Damien trying to kill him? And Alfred's back too, and they're teaming up with Alfred. So skip. Get to this point. Okay, skip that too. Okay, yeah. So he winds up in Kentucky and he finds Felix Faust, old Justice League villain, but he uses magic. So he's freaking out because Devil Nezza's back. So everybody that has magic powers is freaking the fuck out. So Batman shows up and he like chokes the shit out of him. And Alfred's like, man, chill out. Don't kill him. Like, I'm not going to kill him. Just choke him out, and he goes to sleep. But I guess Batman using a sedative on him also. So we're like, okay, well, anyway, we're here. And they see the House of Mystery pop up from the ground. You're like, I guess that's where we go next.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, because that's what where they Satana told him to go. So he gets there and he sees, I think this is Abel. Because Abel controls the House of Mystery. He was like, we're glad to see you here. They're like, me in the house. So they decided to walk into the house. Yeah, it's Abel. So walk to the house and he was like, okay, y'all be careful. Because if you walk into the house of, this is House of Secrets, not House of Mystery, House of Secrets. So you're like, if you walk through the House of Secrets, you're going to find out secrets you're not supposed to know. So be careful. Batman's like, don't worry, I'll be careful. And he turns around, Abel's gone. They're like, what the fuck? So they walk through the rest of the House of Secrets. They fall through a trap door, of course. And then they wake up and they see an image of Damien. And all the kids that was in that Jonan tournament in that Robin book.
Oh yeah, I never read it, but I
never read it either. Batman never read it either, so they catch you up. What's going on with that? so all the kids they stop the fighting tournament and fight this monster, this demon or whatever like that. So they all team up, fight him, and Batman's trying to catch Damien. Damien, I got you, but he goes through Damien, so he realizes, oh, this is just a memory or whatever. Batman's not there; he's just seeing what they went through. So. And then he sees some woman telling him to quit doing that shit, what they doing. He was like, who is this woman? I never met this woman before, So they all team up, get the monster, and they chop the monster's head off. The monster's dead. And the woman is like, you killed my Lazarus demon, you fucking brats, And she was like, you stopped everything I'm doing. Because she was going to use the monster to take over the world, shit like that. And Rob and Damien's just like, you ain't going to do a damn thing. Plus, I know who you are. Your name is not Mother Soul. And everybody like, what do you mean she's not who she says she is? I know what she really is. She's really Ra's al Ghul, soul of the demon. She's Ra's al Ghul's mom. Like, what? That's what everybody said. And even Batman and Apple, like, what the fuck? I never know her before. So that's Damien's great grandmother, who that person is.
Oh, okay,
and, yeah. And she's just like, you little shit. You think you killed me right now, but guess what? The blood of the demon lives in your blood, Damien, and I'll get my revenge, and that's all they see from there. So they keep walking. And they were like, okay, so how the fuck I never heard of the soul grandmother of the demon or whatever like that, So they keep walking, they get attacked, they sneak out, they find a way out, and they grab the doorknob, and now they're in the House of Mystery. They were in the House of Secrets, not in the House of Mystery. And that's where they see Cain. And they like, where's Abel? And he was like, well, I'm Cain, so what do you think happened to Abel? You see a bunch of blood on his hands
again.
So, yeah. Right. And so he was like, okay, so you want to go through the door number 2? He was like, well, okay, let's go. So he walks through this door, and they go to this theater, and they see this skeleton that's dressed like an usher that's just waiting for them to have a seat. And Alfred's like, Master Bruce, he's like, it's space magic, don't worry about it, just go with it, Alfred, just deal with it. So he sits down, but he was like, but if I don't find out what's happening, if I don't unsolve this mystery, I'm gonna start beating ass in here. So he sits down and he sees, the soul mother demons, or whatever. And she basically, grandmama demon, so like that. and she basically says that, damn. So
big mama demon.
Big mama demon. And so they bring in a Lazarus pit, and she was like, I need to find a way to get more Lazarus so I can, take over the world like that. And I remember the Lazarus pit came from a Chinese elixir made by this emperor that used this to resurrect his dead son, who was a prince. And that's when Batman's like, oh shit, I heard this story before. So that prince he's talking about was the Devil Nezza. The Devil Nezza created the Lazarus pit. So it all comes back full circle. And Damien can unlock it because since he shares the blood of Ra's al Ghul, he can unlock the door that holds the Devil Nezza. So they were like, we're going to leave this key here, and we're going to let Damien find it. When he finds it, boom, he'll unlock him. And once he's unlocked, I'll have all the Lazarus juice I need to do my evil plan, So that's when everything turns, and they go to the next thing, and
What's his evil plan? Just to take over the earth and have a big giant orgy?
Kill everybody, I think. I don't know. Some shit. Yeah. Or control everybody. One of them, I can't really remember something. So they find somebody else, and not Damien, Batman, wraps this chick up, and she's like, "I'll say, who are you, Eve, Lilith? What's your name? No, I'm Cynthia. Like, I never heard of you. And I guess she's one of the Sister of Fates. I guess I don't know. I'm just making up shit. And that's when she turns into Talia al Ghul, his baby mama. And she was just like, "You're not Talia. Like, how you know I'm not Talia? We need to rescue our son before he goes off the deep end." And that's when she get ready to share. He was like, "I said you're not Talia. I know Talia so well. I know her scent. You don't smell like you'll smell like my wife, So then they fall through the trap door again, and then that's when they realize that they see a memory of Damien, going to unlock the Devil Nezza, but not knowing he's unlocking the Devil Nezza. He just got this thing. He goes in there and it opens up, and that's when he sees the Devil Nezza break through the door, and they're like, "Uh-oh, there! I remember this guy now. Yeah, this guy that me and Superman like." Fought way a long time ago. He's free again, even though we did everything we could to trap him under this building. And basically the Devil Nezza is like, I can smell Batman on you. I know you're the son of the Batman.
Who was that dude that they fought in that first arc? The guy they locked in the thing?
Him.
That was him? Okay.
Yeah. That was him. So yeah, but that was in the Batman Superman arc. So so basically he's free now. So this is like
this is Mark Waid, right? This is like an extension
Mark Waid.
of that.
He wrote
all that World Fight. Yeah, the World
Fight.
Right?
So this is like one long story. Like it just picks up like right after that. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So Devil Nezza, he like, I can smell Batman on you. So since you're the son of my jailer, so this would be, I'm gonna use you as my number one weapon against him because I know it's gonna hurt him. Because your family can either be your greatest strength or your greatest weakness. So I'm gonna use his family against him. So that's when he sees Damien like being possessed like that. He was like, "Okay, damn, we got to rescue Damien. And like, is there any way we can free the boy?" And Damien's like, "Nope, not really." And he looks at him, and then he like shoots magic at him and shit. They're like knocks him through the wall, shit like that. So basically, Damien was there the whole time, and he's controlling both the House of Secrets and the House of Mystery. They're basically like puppets on a string. He's like, "Hello, father. I've come to kill you," So basically he's controlling everything. And he sets the house on fire and basically like, this is the best way to kill you right now, father. And this is basically, and if you do stay alive, it's basically tell you that I'm way more powerful you ever can. Devil Nezza controls everything. Don't come after us. And then he disappears. And basically they run out the house before, it gets destroyed and shit. So they run out, and Damien, and basically grandma of the demons, she just like, did you kill your father? He was like, I left him in a burning mansion. That shit won't kill him. And plus, I already know that he's going to come for me next because Batman's greatest weapon is prep time. Well, I can out prep his prep time. So I know how to do it because I've been training for him. She was like, okay, well, since the Batman is coming for you, I need you to dress the part. And that's when, now I should have pulled up a scan for this, but do you remember this, Eli?
No.
Okay. For those who don't know what this is from Grant Morrison's Batman run. This is Batman 666. And this is Batman of the future where Damian Wayne sold his soul to the devil to become Batman. This book's like 20 years old. So basically, like, Damian is basically fulfilling that destiny now in this book.
That sounds like Grant Morrison, yeah.
It's Grant Morrison, yeah. So you can't be a Batman without your Robins. So all the Robins are possessed, and now they work for Damian. So, like, damn, okay. So the house on fire. They're like, look, we got to rescue our son. And we can't call any magicians because Devil Nezza controls them. We can't call Superman because he sucks against magic. And he's probably going to be controlled by him anyway. So it's just us. He was like, well, at least you with me. If nobody's with me, at least you with me, Alfred. He's like, of course, Master Bruce. That's what I'm here for. And you see the shadow of Desolate under his shadow. So, yeah, he's a spy. He's a plant the whole time. So
that's why.
Dun, dun, dun. Right. It was to throw Batman off his game. Yeah. So it's still going. Cool story. I'm digging it. So
yeah, it sounds fun. Maybe I'll read it. Maybe I'll, I got the DC app. Maybe I'll read it on there.
Yeah, but you got to have that Ultra app, to get all the shit in a month.
Right away, the day it drops or whatever.
Yeah, the shit. They just announced this shit at Comic-Con. We should have announced it, but whatever.
Yeah.
You gonna pay through the nose to get this shit though.
Yeah. I guess I'll do Ghost Rider number 7.
Ghost Rider.
Motorcycle hero. So this introduces Exhaust. Enter Exhaust. This new demon.
Okay, I like that name. I like that's
yeah,
catchy.
Exhaust. Remember last issue with Wolverine?
Mhm.
So this whole story arc, there's Johnny Blaze has been running around the country, getting into misadventures around the country, fighting monsters and demons and shit. He has this like FBI team, like an X-Files-esque team looking for him. One of them is this like goth chick with like psychic powers named Talia. I think her name is Talia Warroad. And the other agent turned out he was working for Blackheart, so he was like, in cahoots with Hell. So the last issue, Wolverine shows up and basically cut this. There's been another demon inside Johnny Blaze this whole time, like kind of fucking with them. It ain't the spirit of vengeance. It was something else. Last issue, Wolverine cut this demon out like exorcise, like Wolverine as an exorcist with his claws. Just
They did backdoor surgery on him and shit.
Yeah. These claws compel you. The power of these claws compel you, and like cut the demon out, but in like a total like body horror, The Thing type of like slithery monster slid out and infected another guy. This biker that was in the bar that Johnny Blaze, that the whole fight took place in. So this demon slid inside this dead biker's body, and now he becomes this demon named Exhaust. So he's going around breathing black smoke into everybody's faces and possessing them. And he joins up with Blackheart, who's like gathering his Hell army and saying,
now has Blackheart been in the book?
Yeah, he shows there's like the end of this book shows like this like desert mountain or whatever, and there's like this bunch of like demon bikers and shit, like army of Hell, soldiers and shit. Blackheart's, we're gonna get that Johnny Blaze, and with my sidekick, we're gonna whoop his ass. And that's when they have Exhaust is in the background, like he's gonna be Blackheart's new right-hand man. So that happens. That's kind of where the book ends. But there's also a side plot where that chick, the FBI, the psychic FBI agent, finds Johnny Blaze, like handcuffs him to a bed, drugs him, handcuffs him to a bed, and basically performs this like psychic ritual where she pulls all his past out, like she knows his past now, and wakes him up and say, "Hey, you're Johnny Blaze. You're a spirit of vengeance. I got these magic powers. We got to stop Blackheart. Let's team up." So they're going to be a team. And
who is she again?
She's like a psychic FBI agent.
Okay, so she didn't have like some Marvel name or some shit.
Talia. I think her name was Talia Warroad. Yeah, I think she's just some new character.
Okay.
And she's just teams up with them. And judging by the next issue's cover, looks like they're going to hook up because it shows like Ghost Rider and her like hugging and embracing.
Oh, sidekick / love interest, that old thing.
Yeah,
okay.
So they're going to knock the boots.
Works for Daredevil. Why not?
Yeah. Get smash on their monster hunting journey and shit. I'm here for it. So yeah, this is cool. I've been digging this Ghost Rider run. This is the Benjamin Percy run. This is dope. I'm still on it, So 4 out of 5.
Cool. All right. Next book. What am I gonna do next? I guess I'll knock the Superman book out. I mean, I would you like not a whole lot happened in this book.
No.
But I review it. I knock it out. Like I said, Superman, son of KAL-EL. Where is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Superman, son of KAL-EL. So yeah, what happened in this book?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in this beginning of the book, it says The Return of KAL-EL, Part 2.
Part 2. Uh-huh.
I didn't read the first part.
Part 1 was in Action Comics.
Was it in Action? Okay. I figured it was
we reviewed it last week. Yeah, we did last week. So yeah. This is part 2 of that. Just Superman's back. That's all. So,
okay.
Well, KAL-EL's back. So yeah. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. So the book starts off actually it's a flashback with John in the Kent farm. His powers are activating. He hears everything. He can hear somebody pissing in Australia, some shit like that, so he freaking out. That's when Superman shows up, his dad. He's like, I can hear everything, Dad. And he basically says the same thing that Martha told him when he was a kid, pretend I'm an island, only hear my voice. And he just focused on his dad's heartbeat. And when he focused on his heartbeat, he didn't hear anything else. He just focused on just that one thing. So he learns how to control his super hearing. Oh, okay. Rest of the day is just John Kent. Now this actually freaked me out at first. I'm like, whoa, DC's going there? Then I just realized he didn't have a dude in the bed. It's just him moving at super speed to dress himself. That's all. So crypto and shit like that. And the rest of the book is just him going out throughout the day. Yeah. Saving people. Hooking up with his boyfriend, fighting ninjas with Damien.
Yeah, it's just kind of a slice in the day, or like a day in the life or whatever.
Yeah, apologize to a guy who broke his arm when he first said it because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Playing cash crypto, saying hi to Martha, baking a pie. Lex Luthor being addicted to Lex Luthor. And then we finally get somewhere. This is interesting. This actually might have a plot following into it. Anyway, he finds out why he's fucking with Lex Luthor, that somebody broke into Strikers Island. And we're using Lex Luthor's weapons, which Lex Luthor, of course, says, "Oh, I don't know how that happened. I nothing to do with me, Anyway, he goes to there, he puts out the fire, and he sees somebody has a bomb, and then somebody's controlling the guy that's hitting him. So who's controlling him? The Ultra Human Knights. So they're actually Superman's first supervillain. The Ultra Human Knight fights him, beats the shit out of him, and he basically implants all the negative thoughts that everybody on the planet has about Superman. Oh, don't forget that in the last issue, I think Lex Luthor outed, John to the world.
I think so, yeah.
Which is actually some like supervillain shit you just don't do. You let people come out on their own. But yeah, it's Lex Luthor, so he does fucked up shit. Anyway,
like gay code. You don't out somebody. Who's
that's the rule. You don't out somebody. You let them come out on their own terms. You out them. That's
I see what you're doing, Tom Taylor.
You feeling Lex Luthor?
Not cool, Lex.
All right. So he gets the psychic damage that they use to keep Ultra Humanite trapped before. He puts it back together, puts the collar on him, and now he's just there. Ultra Humanite says basically he's trying to find, okay, so who was trying to get out of this place? Who was trying to get free? And it was Metallo. Now, if you read part 1 of this Return of KAL-EL, Lex Luthor did something to Metallo. We don't know what he did, but I guess we'll find out later on, and then Human like, yeah, you suck. Nobody wants to see you, all the shit like that. Who will free somebody with a kryptonite heart? Somebody wants you dead. And while he's talking, he's like, I hear something. He's out. What does he hear? He hears his dad's heartbeat. He hadn't heard his dad's heartbeat in months because he's been out in space doing world shit, and he just shows up and he's back. He even moves at supersonic speed, hugs his dad. He's like, Dad, you're back. He's like, yeah, I'm back. He's like, I want to go out to space. I want to go as far out in space to find you. But if I fly too far, I'm going to leave Earth behind. He's like, I know. You had to protect Earth. And they hug. I know, son. And they hug. And that's it.
Aww.
Yeah. That's all that happened. So not too much in this book. Here's the thing.
And the cats and the cradles and the silver spoon.
So here's the thing about this book. There's only 2 issues left.
Yeah.
It's getting canceled. It's getting canceled issue 18. I know every angry YouTuber is excited.
I heard there's going to be another series. It's going to be something else.
Another mini series. So it's going to be Tom Taylor, another guy also. Basically, going to do. It's supposed to be him getting revenge on Ultraman for beating the shit out of him for 5 years, which is how the time skip came about. Why he's older, So he's supposed to get revenge on Ultraman for that. You're both Earth 3 or some shit like that. So, so I think what this book is right now, just Tom Taylor just putting all toys in the box, wrapping it up, and going from there.
Yeah, but it's going to be Tom Taylor. I think the same artist.
Yeah,
it's just going to be another. It's going to be a continuation of John.
Continuation of this run. He may have like a new costume or some shit.
Yeah,
but it's going to be him. So,
but I'm as long as Tom Taylor's writing this shit, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, because this is some of the best Superman shit in a while. I know people hate it or not reading it or upset and boycotting, but it's honestly some of the best Superman shit we've gotten in a while. So.
Yeah.
So what you got next?
So what's the score? You guys slap a score
on this? 3 out of 5 because it was just him. I don't know, watching TV, taking a shit. Just simple shit.
Oh yeah.
So.
Let's go. So I'm gonna do. Was it this hack
man
slash?
Thing? Oh, Hashley. Why is that man thing?
Man thing. Oh shit! I saved the wrong. I went to the. Whoops! Sorry, I saved the wrong window. That is cool. Though. This is a heavy metal, like a metal shirt place that sells like metal records and shirts and shit. I saw this Man Thing shit. Like, that's pretty dope.
Okay. You messed me up because I thought you were saying you were going to review Hack.Sign,
Oh, check
that
out
old
that Dr.
shitty ass
Doom
anime.
Shirt.
Yeah,
This Dr. Doom shirt.
Doom lives.
Yeah. Anyway, wrong window. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I did / Hot Shorts one shot. So
Cool.
this is by Tim Seeley. Tim Seeley's horror comic. / is one of my favorite books of all time. I actually got my #1 signed by him at a con.
Nice. Okay.
It's a horror comic basically involving Cassie Hack and her like giant deformed sloth from the Goonies type of sidekick as they go around the country hunting slashers like Jason, Freddy, like those horror villains like Freddy or Jason. They hunt them. And they kind of like sort of established that these like Jason, Freddy, Chucky, actually they've done a crossover. There's actually a Hack / with Chucky crossover comics, but there's a supernatural element. Slashers have a supernatural element. That's why they keep coming back from the grave and killing. So they go around the country and kill them. So I was really looking forward to this. This is a one shot, but it turns out it's a 3-story anthology. So they're only like 5 to 10 pages long. The first story involves like Johnny Cash finding out that Elvis sold his soul to some like Cthulhu demon god or something, and that's why he died. Weird. It's weird. Sounds like an intriguing idea, but it's only like 5-6 pages, and I don't know if it's like going to be a new comic or something, or if it's going to be new characters that Cassie
like a spinoff
and
or
Vlad
something.
yeah, some spinoff Hack / shit. I don't know, but it was only a few pages long, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Okay. And then we go to this story. This is the only, the only Vlad and Cassie story we have. It's just another day in the life, probably early on. They've just killed a slasher and they're washing all the blood off themselves. And they kind of have a water fight and kind of have a tender moment, just character development. It's only like 5 to maybe 10 pages long of just getting a little, them bonding and, just showing the closeness of their friendship and shit. So they're playing with the hose, splashing water as they wash all the blood off their bodies and shit. And then the last issue or the last story involves, what's her name? Bunny Hell. What the fuck's that? What's that story? Did you ever read it? It was a Tim Seeley book. Bunny Hell or whatever the fuck it was, or Bunny something and Mr. Hell. It was another one of his books. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, I never read it. But it involves those characters. It's kind of crossover with those characters. Cassie Hack shows up in it. Vampirella shows up with Purgatory from Lady Death shows up. And this is the big crossover of all these hot horror demon chicks kind of showing up and, fighting monsters. It's another like little short 10-pager. I don't know if that's going to be another that's the thing. I don't know if this is like a preview book or if they're just one shots. You know what I mean? Because I thought it was going to be like a full issue story, but it's just like these 3 short vignettes.
All by the same writer?
All by Tim Seeley, all involving, Cassie and Vlad or the Hack / characters. So yeah, I was a little disappointed. I'm like, oh, cool, a new Hack / book just in time for Halloween. I'll check it out. But yeah, just 3 little vignettes. I don't know if they're previews to upcoming stories or what. But yeah, I was a little disappointed. It's always cool to see new stories with these characters. I do love this universe. I do love those characters. But yeah, I was hoping for a little more, like another cool, like them taking out a slasher, like another, having them fight some villain. So Love Bunny and Mr. Hell. That's what it was called. That's what that comic was called.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's Tim Seeley. He writes like horror and like hot chicks. That's like what he does. You know. Yeah, it's like a Love Bunny is just like this hot chick, Playboy bunny type of hot chick, and her monster demon sidekick or whatever. Then they go around fighting crime or whatever. So yeah, that was a crossover. That was the last story. Vampirella, Purgatory, Cassie shows up. So yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It was cool to see some new shit, but I wanted something more, like a full story would have been cool. So yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So next book I'm going to do is Black Panther number 10. Eli, did you?
I've stopped reading.
Okay, Eli, before I review this, I do want to let you know. Hold on, let me find it. Okay. Yeah. Oh no, not that. That. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Before I review this book, I do want to apologize to you in advance.
Okay.
So.
Oh, wasn't he was fighting some like clan dude or some shit or something, so some southern shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying I'm gonna apologize in advance before I review this book. So we're just gonna jump into it. That Eli gave the description. That's what happened. He fought some Klansman or white man, and now some other dude popped out of nowhere called the Buffalo Soldier that can shoot through vibranium. Yeah. So yeah. So let's get into it. All right. So like I said, so the dude is named the Buffalo Soldier. This is the main bad guy of this story right here.
Oh yeah, the Buffalo Soldier. That's okay.
Yeah. So and basically he had all his guns and weapons can shoot through vibranium. You know, he was like, "Oh, would look at you in that Purdy suit?" You know, and he said, "Purdy, what the fuck you talking about? I'm the king of Wakanda." So he tries to get at him and gets the shit slapped at him. So Black Panther gets his ass beat by this dude the entire book. So you can imagine how people feel about that already don't like what they're doing to T'Challa lately. So kick the shit out of him. And he was like, "Oh, well, it doesn't matter if I can get to this generator that Shuri sent me. I'm gonna send him back to his home planet anyway." And before he gets there, dude shoots through it and like bam. And T'Challa like, "Wait, that was vibranium. How the fuck you shoot through that?" He didn't know that he could shoot through vibranium, but now he knows. So he's like, so yeah, Knife was gonna hit him, and he's like, "Oh shit, if he can shoot through that thing, he can shoot through me also. So I need to dodge his bullets." Meanwhile, the Avengers are fighting off his army that's trying to like take over, colonize the earth and shit like that. And he's just talking to him. He's like, "Why don't y'all just chill out, Avengers? Why don't you just come over here and you can have your pick of any of my concubines, including you, Carol Danvers, have one, And the concubines is like, "Avengers, if you free us, we will kill this motherfucker for you right now, But they talking in their language so they can't hear him, So they talking and stuff like that, blah blah. Yeah, still fighting. They're not getting anywhere. Cap's getting pissed. He's like, "T'Challa, answer me. Why haven't you gotten rid of these guys yet?" Because he was supposed to go to Shuri and get this generator. Supposed to send these guys back to the planet. And T'Challa like, "I'm busy," while running from the Buffalo Soldier while he's shooting the shit out of him. He was saying, "T'Challa, what the fuck? You supposed to have gotten this shit done by now." He's like, "Well, my shit got destroyed." He's like, "Well, find another plan." He's like, "Aren't you the leader of the Avengers?" He was like, "I thought you were the leader of the Avengers. Didn't we say that?" You're like, "Yeah, I am." He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna come up with another plan." He calls Shuri, and Shuri is in a parliament meeting right now. And basically he calls Shuri. She's like, "Yeah, I'm in a meeting with the Democratic Republic of Wakanda right now. They're basically repealing everything you've ever done to T'Challa, and they're shitting on you hard, big bro. They don't want your ass." You're like, "T'Challa, like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I needed one of those generators that you sent me earlier, and I'm fighting some dude called a Buffalo Soldier, whatever that fuck that means." He's like, "Well, I don't know anything about a Buffalo Soldier from that planet, but I can see you a Wikipedia page of the Buffalo Soldiers that we have, and maybe you can make a connection. I don't know." You're like, "Cool." So T'Challa goes through all the wiki pages that he sent to the Buffalo Soldier, and T'Challa like, "Oh shit, this is fucked up. I didn't know about all this shit." And Shuri's just like, "Reading is fundamental. You learn your history, brother." She's like, "I'm out. I got shit to do." Remember, he getting shot and shit. And she's like, "I found you, kitty. Here, kitty. And T'Challa like, "Oh, you ain't finna keep disrespecting me." So he runs at him again. You know what happens? Catches him, takes out his vibranium knife, slashes him in the chest. He's like, "I'm gonna skin this cat." So basically, T'Challa, anytime he goes to him, he's just gonna get fucked up. He's like, "I'm about to kill you like we killed the Muggabees." He's like, "What the hell is a Muggabee?" He's like, "They don't exist anymore because we killed them." He's like, "Well, what happened to him?" He's like, well, let me tell you a story. So here's the story about the Mugabees. So back on his home planet, they shared the planet with this other race called the Mugabees. They look different, but they got along just fine. They shared stuff, whatever, like that, blah, 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 so like that. Anyway, the colonizer, whatever you want to call them, showed up. And he talked to the Buffalo Soldier and his people. He was like, hey, the Mugabees are secretly against y'all, and they want y'all gone. So, but with our help, we can help you get rid of them. So they gave them weapons, train them on how to use them. And it was like, okay, all you got to do is just kill the Mugabees for us. You can keep the weapons. So they killed all the Mugabees, ran them off their land, stuff like that. And basically all their resources they gave to the colonizer. It was like, cool. So we got all this stuff. He was like, well, all you didn't. So you turned on your own people because the colonizer told you to do it. Like, you just following orders. He was like, okay, yeah, that's dumb as hell. He was like, well, let me tell you a story about our Buffalo Soldiers. And then we go back to real history. He was like, so the Buffalo Soldiers in America were free slaves that joined the U.S. military, you know. But what the U.S. military did when they expanded to the frontier was use them to kill off anybody and take their land. See, that's where it all comes back full circle, you know. So basically saying like they use their freedom to take freedom away from others. So you're no better than that. He's like, what do you know about that, King T'Challa? Aren't you a king? Don't you tell people what to do and then they tell them to do it? He's like, well, yeah. So like, so what you know about free will? You're like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you a choice. Instead of telling you about free will, I'm gonna show you about free will. I choose not to fight you anymore. Whatever you do next is on you. You have free will to do whatever you want. He's like, move, kitty cat, before I shoot your ass. You're like, I'm not moving. Like, bam, shoots him. You're like, what the fuck you do? You're supposed to move out the way. Why didn't you move? He was like, because I chose not to. Just like you chose to shoot me. I was trying to show you that every choice has consequences. So he's looking around what he did. He realized that he's doing the work for the colonizer. He was like, well, fuck it. I'll help the colonizer, you know, get him off the planet. So he starts shooting everybody, taking out the aliens and shit too. Meanwhile, Shuri sends over a drone with one of those generators. It drops, send everybody back. They're gone. You know, meanwhile, the Buffalo Soldier actually killed by those aliens. He didn't kill enough of them, so they're gone. And he cries, wishing he could have did more, you know. Meanwhile, the Avengers look at the colonizer. They were like, all right, what the fuck you do? You got to take your ass back. And his concubines are telling him, the little guy is the one in control. She's like, oh, well, have at it, ladies. So they beat the shit out of him. And Carol walks off with his ivory tie. And that's it. Meanwhile, they go back to the Avengers base. And, you know, Shuri fixes Steve's shield. It's basically saying, look, I feel like I'll never understand. Oh, yeah, T'Challa got passionate about Wakandan scientists and shit. And she's like, I feel like I'll never understand T'Challa. He was like, with everything T'Challa going through, I don't think he understands himself. The end. So, yeah, so T'Challa's going through this whole identity crisis because he lost his best friend and the war dogs turned on him. And, you know, Steve don't trust him anymore with the Avengers and shit. So, yeah, what a bad story. Everybody's pissed because T'Challa's not, you know, whooping ass from beginning to the end, you know, but hey. Yeah. So people are gonna be pissed no matter what you do. So yeah. So, but learn something about the Buffalo Soldiers. It's funny to look at the Buffalo Soldiers in that lens because we was always taught that they were, you know, our heroes. When you're looking for that lens, it's kind of fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
So.
There's I was taught that they were like
stormtroopers.
Basically, yeah, they were just following orders, but to pity them, basically, you know.
It's different. Like I said, we hear it's the same people, but we hearing two different stories about them. So yeah.
Yeah. I guess when like from the, I don't even know how accurate this is, but I've heard stories that they were referred to as Washichu Sapa,
which means
white man.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because they were doing the same thing, you know, that the soldiers were doing. You know?
Right, and of course, since they're black soldiers, we already know that the army sent them in first.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, but you know, it's complicated. It's complicated.
History is complicated. Right?
Yeah,
We want everything to be black and white. We want everything to be clean cut, but it's not. You know.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. But no, I appreciate the apology.
Yeah.
Not that I was offended by it, but
Right.
but no, it is interesting that they brought that up and that they did actually go into that.
You know, I'm almost curious. I got to go back and look what people are saying about Black Panther books now. Are they pissed off about that? You know, now they're kind of painting the Buffalo Soldiers in a bad light. You know,
Yeah.
Maybe people get pissed off about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, everybody, like, I grew up. I was taught that Custer was a piece of shit, and we were proud because my tribe was, you know, well, there was an alliance of tribes. What my tribe was one of the alliance that killed Custer and the 7th Cavalry, and I grew up my whole life, you know, being proud, like, fuck Custer, we whooped his ass. And then it wasn't until I was like older that I found out that America revered Custer as a hero,
Right?
who, like, went out in a blaze of glory and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, be honest with you, when I read the history books, I was like, "What? Didn't this guy get his ass whooped? Why are we praising him?" I mean,
yeah, like he like went out in a blaze. He like his last stand, his heroic last stand and shit. And he had this romantic image of Custer like going out in a blaze of glory when that whole battle lasted like maybe 10 minutes because the Indians had guns. So yeah, it's just weird that, like, the history. I mean, it's weird that, you know, that book Earth Divers that I reviewed last week about the Christopher Columbus and stuff, and them going back in time, and that's like one of the themes of the book is the history that we're taught. Is it right? Is it true? And, you know, you find out that yes, history isn't,
or sometimes like skewed through a different lens, you know, different point of view. You know,
history is written in, you know, in favor of the, you know, of the winners and to make them look better. And that's kind of what we were taught. And then you find out that's not really what happened. So I'll commend this book for actually going into that, you know. So even though I didn't read it, though.
You didn't read it. Maybe that's why you liked it, because you didn't read it. You know?
Yeah, I kind of gave up a couple issues ago. I was like, yeah, I'm just not feeling this anymore, you know. And yeah, sorry.
No, I understand. I completely understand.
Well, I know you didn't like it. Like, you were like,
I have to.
You have to.
It's like eating vegetables, man. It's like, okay, I read the other Black Panther book.
Damn Brussels sprouts, like,
right. Got to do it for the culture, man. So
yeah. You don't buy it, they ain't gonna make it. So
right.
I get it. Well, I mean, I forgot to mention that I reviewed this, but I have one more book, and I'll just go briefly into it. I don't want to, like, you know, go.
Oh, Jillian, no, I do have one more, but go ahead. Yeah.
Was Do a Powerbomb #5.
Okay. Daniel
Warren Johnson's ode to pro wrestling. It's like this death tournament in outer space involving pro wrestlers. They have to fight to the death and if they win the tournament, they get to resurrect somebody from their past. And this girl and her partner, who accidentally killed her mom, are wrestling to bring her mom back to life. This issue, they're wrestling against one of the most seasoned wrestling veterans in the universe, but they don't know hardcore rules. So this is like TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh my!
And so that's what this match is, and it goes all out. Daniel Warren Johnson's artwork is awesome. You know, the way he draws action, it's really gritty and visceral, and, you know, a lot of kinetic energy, and he goes all out in this issue. But it is revealed they finally take off her partner's mask, and it is her dad. That's what she finds out. Her dad is the one who accidentally killed her mom in the ring.
But does she know what her dad looks like?
She knows what her dad looks like.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
But she didn't know that her dad was this character, this luchador character. Like, he's always wearing a mask. She didn't know who the identity was. She didn't know that this guy was her dad because he was always wearing a mask. So during the match, they're getting their ass whooped. And, you know, like in luchador, I don't know if you ever watched luchador wrestling, the Mexican wrestling, to take off the mask is like a sign of disrespect.
Right.
You know, don't ever do that. And that's what happens. They rip off this dude's mask, and then she sees like, oh, it's her dad. You know. So again, that's the thing. Daniel Warren Johnson's books are full of action and violence, but also really deep drama and heart and emotional weight. So that's the big reveal. Now she knows that her partner is her dad, and that her dad accidentally killed her mom in the ring way back in the day, and he's never told her that. So the plot thickens. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
4 to 5. This is dope.
Okay.
And I'm booked out.
Okay. I got one left. Then we're gonna get up out of here. It's another Black Panther-ish book, Wakanda #1. So
Okay.
like I said, we already knew, like I said, they're ramping up for the movie. So they're gonna start doing these like Wakandan one shots where it's not about Black Panther, but about like everybody else in Wakanda. So that's kind of where it starts there. It is in continuity. The first book is about Shuri, so we just jump into it. Basically, the book starts off, we find Shuri. She is in her lab, and she's researching that dude that was in the Black Panther book, Tonshin or whatever like that, because his whole tribe, they basically have vibranium in their bloodstream that gives them superpowers. And she's like, I need to figure out how they did that so I can synthesize it and basically recreate it for everybody else. That's when Queen Ramonda walks in, and I didn't even know who this was. I thought this was Storm at first. I'm like, damn, they got Queen Ramonda like fine as fuck on this shit. But then I just remember they're drawing to like Angela Bassett, who's like 60 years old, still one of the sexiest motherfuckers on the planet. So cool, let's go with it. And she's looking like, okay, you been in your lab all day? You need to come with me. She like, no, I can't do that. I got work that I need to do. Like, what work are you doing? What, staring at that shirtless boy on screen all day? She's like, no, that is for science. That is research purposes. She's like, okay, I'm pretending like you didn't say that if you just come with me. So they go, and she just tell him, you need to get out the lab. You need to quit being so paranoid. She's like, what? Why are you telling me all this? Because I already have one child that's already been exiled. I'm trying to make sure you don't show up the same way. Meanwhile, while they change, basically say, okay, so this is really an intervention, huh? She's like, you call it what you want to call it. You need to get out that lab and find out what's going on. While they're doing that, they hear an earthquake, and skip all past that. Anyway, Rhino's here. Rhino snuck in. Yeah, Rhino snuck in when they took a bunch of rhinos back to Wakanda, and he just snuck in as a rhino. So he's just there and just running around just doing shit, just fucking up shit, because that's what Rhino does. Earthquake, sure hears it. She's just like, oh, it's earthquake. Let me find out what's going on, because since T'Challa ain't here, somebody got to protect Wakanda, see what's going on. So she still got her Griot powers, where she turns to a bird, flies over there, finds Rhino. She's like, Rhino, what the hell are you doing here? She's like, I just want to see the sights. I just want to hang out with Wakanda. She's like, no, you can't sightsee in here. You get the hell up out of here. So they get ready to fight, and he's just like, where you big bro at? I don't want to fight you. You're like, oh, I'm enough for you. So they fight. Shuri, anyway, she turns to an elephant and punches the shit out of him, basically, right there. Fight over.
Fight.
It's on him. Yeah, that's it. And she just like, you're okay. But then when she goes back to the lab, she realized, okay, Rhino is too dumb to sneak into Wakanda by himself. So somebody put him up to that. And then while she's saying that, Okoye alerts Shuri to let him know that a camera was found on Rhino's hide. So somebody snuck a camera on him. Basically, whoever snuck him in there. And as we realize, it is what the fuck her name is? Ohio? Something like that. Whatever her name is. This is the first chick that Shuri fought as Black Panther, like in the Black Panther book, when she first became Black Panther. And basically, she wants revenge on Shuri. To be continued. That's the book.
Okay.
Some other shit happened. Some really cool shit. They retcon. So Marvel has retcon. The rest of the book is basically Marvel retconning Black Panther's history. So they going through the whole history of Black Panther. Like the first Black Panther fought like some broods. Yeah. Fought Skrulls, Shuma-Gorath, all the shit like that. Yeah. So that actually pretty cool. I'm gonna go back and check. If I for nothing else, I'll buy this book for that Wakanda history at the end of it. For that. So yeah.
That's cool.
So other than that, I'm booked out. So yeah,
I'm booked out. And
so,
I added that, dude. I forgot to tell you I read that to the Powerbomb.
It's cool. It's cool. So next week Black Adam drops. I'll try to see it. Do a review on that, see what my think is. See will that put the DCEU back on track.
Looks cool.
Looks cool. Stuff has been spoiled about it already. I'm like, shit, man. Y'all quit spoiling shit for yourself. Even if don't just blast it on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all this shit like that. Hey, blah, blah, blah.
Gomer sitting there, excellent.
Right. He don't give a fuck. He'll just post it in a comment. Just like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Because he wasn't going to see it anyway. He don't give a shit.
Almost got fired over Endgame or some shit.
Right. Like, what the hell, man? Like, I don't care. Like, okay, you don't care. 2 other billion people care. It's like, shit.
Somebody went to HR because I spoiled the ending of Endgame.
Right.
Shout out to Gomer and the comic. What do they call it? Comic Cast? Not Comic Cast. What do they call
That's
it?
not Comic Cast. Shout out to Comic. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Shout out to Talking Vols. Apparently, this Tennessee Vols game this past weekend was like the greatest football game of all time. So I know they were fucking great. That's what I'm hearing. I didn't watch it, but that's what I'm hearing. So yeah.
What is Vols anyway? Is that like a college team or some shit?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't know. I don't follow football that well. I just know NFL shit.
Well,
I only watch Vikings games. Yeah,
well,
I don't know. But yeah, I see they're on. I see them posting shit all the time. I just don't.
Yeah,
know
their podcast is just about that college football team. That is it. And they do better numbers than all of us combined. But yeah.
This Geeks and Comics. That's what Gomer's podcast.
This Geeks and Comics. That's also shout out to them. I give them a hard time when I go in there and comment, but that's just me. But yeah, but next week we'll do some more shit. We'll follow up. Hopefully, no more. We're done with shitty Halloween movies. Are we? We're done with shitty Halloween movies for at least.
I'm trying to think what comes next. There's movies. I heard everyone saying that new Terrifier is cool. You know, Art the Clown. Cool. Last one. I saw the last one. It's all right. It's like gory. It's cheesy, gory shit. But everyone's saying people are fainting and throwing up in the theaters and walking out because it's so gory and shit. You know, it's probably publicity. You know, but
cool. I'll let you
everyone's
review
saying that. I don't know if it's. I don't know if I'll be able. It's not streaming yet. It's still out in the theaters, which I have not been able to go to any movies lately because of the move, and I got my kid all the time. So, I'll try to catch it, but maybe Chucky's back on. Maybe I'll check out Chucky.
You review Chucky. Yeah, I know something's out. So yeah. So, like I said, until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Yeah. Life is a balance. You lose your grip, you could slip into an abyss. No doubt, you see these niggas tripping. Ego in charge of every move, he's a star. And we can't look away due to the days that he caught our hearts. He's falling apart, but we deny it. Justifying a half-ass shit he dropped, we always buy it. When he tell us he a genius, but it's clearer lately. It's been hard for him to look into the mirror lately. There was a time when this nigga was my hero, maybe. That's the reason why his fall from grace is hard to take. Cause I believed him when he said his shit was pure, ain't he? The type of nigga swear he real, but all around us fake. The women, the dick riders, you know the yes men. Nobody with the balls to say something to contest them. So he grows out of control until the person that he truly was all along is starting to show. Damn, wonder what happened. Maybe it's my fault for idolizing niggas based off the words they be rapping. When come to find out, these niggas don't even write they shit. Here's some new style bubbling up, then they bite this shit. Damn, that's what I get for lying to myself. But fuck it, what's more important is he's crying out for help. While the world's egging him on, I'm begging him to stop it. Playing his old shit, knowing he won't top it. False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Be like this. False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Be like this. Be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Yeah, false. I got a homie, he a rapper and he wanna win bad. He want the fame, the acclaim, the respect that's been had by all the legends. So every time I see him, he's stressing. Talking about niggas don't fuck with him. This shit is depressing. And I know he's so bitter he can't see his own blessings. Goddamn, nigga, you too blind to see you got fans, nigga. And a platform to make a classic rap song to change a nigga's life. But you too anxious living life. Always worry about the critics who ain't never fucking did it. I write what's in my heart, don't give a fuck who fucking with it. But in a sense, I can relate. The need to be great turns into an obsession and keeps a nigga up late writing words. Hoping people observe the dedication that stirs in you constantly. But intentions get blurred. Do I do it for the love of the music or is there more to me? Do I want these niggas to worship me? False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Be like this. Be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Be like this. False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Be like this. Be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Yeah, false prophets. These rappers insecure. They talk about being a man so much I finally understand that they ain't even sure about who they are and why they do this. Guess I'm included in that category as a nigga who done had the glory. My highest moments come from telling all the saddest stories I've seen in my life. I be fiending to write songs that raise the hair on my arms. My lowest moments came from trying too hard to impress some niggas that couldn't care if I'm on. Therefore from here on out, my hair grow out. I care nothing about opinions. I wanna give hope like the fountains you throw pennies in. Hit the store, take your disc, make your wish. This is dedicated to the ones that listen to me on some faithful shit. I'm on some thankful shit, but the real God is in you, not the music you copying. I hear my old shit and know I can top it. False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this. False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. False prophets.